Hello my friends, this is Mohammed, your tour guide. In the previous episode, we showed you our last trip in Luxor, which is in the Valley of the Kings, one of the greatest temples in Egypt. This was our last stop in Luxor, and today our trip will be from Luxor to Aswan, but it will be on stops through travel. The tourist ship will be our first stop in the city of Esna. There is the Temple of Esna. It will pick up. The ship will transport us from Luxor across the sea to the city of Esna. After that, we will continue our journey across the river in several loops. We will stop at the Edfu station, then the Kabambo station, until we reach our destination, which is the city. Before we begin our journey, I would like to note that if you want to book a trip to Egypt, you must visit our website through the trip's website, and you can book a trip, and we will make all the arrangements. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Pleasure of taking a Nile cruise and watching the beauty of nature along the river is a dream that haunts many tourists, and tickles their imagination, as the tourist finds rest and relaxation, and enjoys the tranquility and natural scenery throughout the trip. There are some street vendors who bring me in small boats and sell antiques and some clothes from the Egyptian heritage. These are all the sights you will encounter on your Nile cruise throughout your journey from Luxor until you reach your first stop, which is the city of Esna. When the Nile cruise ship docks at the Asna station, you will be taken from the boat to the temple by horse-drawn carriages until you reach the Temple of Esna. The Temple of Khnum is an ancient Egyptian temple in the city of Esna in the Luxor Governorate of Upper Egypt, about 55 kilometers south of Luxor. It had the ancient Egyptian name Haut Khenmu, House of Khnum. The only surviving part of the temple is the pronos, the vestibule of the actual temple. The hall is supported by 24 columns and has an intact roof, and is located in the center of the city on the Nile River, 200 meters west of the river bank. The Temple of Khnum was dedicated to the ancient Egyptian deity Khnum, who served as the creator of both men and female deities. In his incarnation as Khnum Hapi, he revived the Nile springs every year to cause the Nile to flood. In addition, his wife Menhit, the city goddess Neptu, and the gods Heka and Neet were worshipped. The open-air temple is located 9 meters below street level in the city of Esna in an excavated depression. Stairs lead to the entrance to the temple. The parts of the temple visible today date back to the Ptolemaic and Roman era. The Temple of Khnum in Esna was built on the ruins of an earlier temple from the 18th dynasty of Egypt, the last of which was the era of Thutmose III. The new building was built under the rule of King Ptolemy VI and Ptolemy VII in the 2nd century BC. The main Ptolemaic part of the building, the naos with the sanctuary of Khnum, was lost in the Middle Ages. In the Roman era, Emperor Claudius, 41–54, began construction of the remaining Bronosis, which was completed during the reign of Emperor Decius, 249–251. Due to the annual rise of the waters of the Nile River and the accompanying floods, the temple area gradually sank under silt, the amount of which grew to the level of the current street of the city of Esna. At the beginning of the modern era, the floor reached the capitals of the columns of Brunos. When the French invaded Egypt, the city's inhabitants are said to have protected themselves from the French under the roof of the temple, bullet holes still visible above the capitals. French soldiers then partially excavated the Prunos River Gallery. The first scientific excavations were carried out by Auguste Mariette in the mid-19th century. In modern Egyptian history, the restored Temple of Khnum became a major tourist attraction in Esna. Due to its close location on the Nile, a visit to the building is an integral part of river cruises between Luxor in the north and Aswan, 135 kilometers to the south. The path from the sidewalk east of the Temple of Khnum leads through the streets of Esna Bazaar. And here our journey ends in this beautiful temple, an architectural masterpiece. Even after this time, the columns and walls still retain their colors as they were painted yesterday. This is the quality in ancient Egyptian architecture. Now it is time for us to return to the cruise ship until we meet the next episode, which will be our stop. Next is the city of Edfu. Please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button. This will allow us to continue providing our content to you. Thank you.